What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. It just depends on how far you want to take your mind and how little you want to limit it. The choice is all up to you and what you choose to do for your life. You know what I'm saying? So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. And you know what I'm saying, even to the ones that don't support, that's okay, because at some point people gonna start to, you feel me, see the twinkle in their own eye. They gonna want to heal for themselves, because they ain't gonna really have no choice. You know what I'm saying? So the title of this video is going to be The Gift of the Curse. Listen, all my life from a young child, right, I've always read like mystery books and, you know, real life books and nonfiction. Like, I was a very big book reader, especially on like mystery things that the average person probably wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, talk about or be into, because it's not physical, it's not something they could see, right? So being the fact that I was just this mysterious kid my whole life, personally, when your mind is finessed and manipulated into the physical reality of your everyday life, you start to diminish, you know, your mystical world of life. And for anybody that just feels like they were born different as a kid, you know what I'm saying, they seen and heard and thought of things that probably the average person wouldn't, then you will kind of understand and know where I'm coming from. Like, you stood out a lot from the crowd, from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Until it's like double dutch. You got jumped into life, and then you started to adjust who you were to fit everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So not only were you no longer set apart, you were just like them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to make this video to help people understand that it's good when you're set apart. It's good when everybody looks at you as, you know what I'm saying, the one that's set apart from everybody. Like, it's dope. Don't never let nobody ever tell you that because you're set apart from everybody, or because you think differently, or because you have this vivid imagination and you do things differently, that's wrong. That's not okay. You know what I'm saying? That is the magic to who you are. That's your identity, your soul blueprint. But you know, as you're growing up as a kid, you want to fit in. So you start doing things that everybody else doing, or you start taking what they say to you into consideration. So you're still in this whole mystical, you know what I'm saying, mystery part of your life, but now you're also doing what other people are doing. And if you're around more people that are not mystical and doing things set apart, you start to get more influenced into that. You know what I'm saying? And you slowly lose your identity in that whole process, because people love you when you do everything they say, you know what I'm saying, and you do everything they do. But it's very hard for people to just be your friend, you know what I'm saying, or appreciate you for the person that you are, especially if you're different. You're so different that, you know what I'm saying, it's hard for them to process. But 9 times out of 10, they feel it in your energy. That's why, you know what I'm saying, they connect to you so hard. You know what I'm saying? You mirror something in them that they see in themselves. They just can't really pinpoint it because everybody's trying to find themselves. So it's better if we just don't be the oddballs out, but be like everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't come across being cursed until later in my life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't figure out the gift that would come out of that until later in my life. And I believe that's when I believe that my ability to believe in the mystery and the mystical actually came true, because you have to understand that it is your work, your life lessons past, that you will start to see the magic and the mystical things in life. But you got to understand, it's up to you to have faith and believe, because a lot of people in life, they don't believe in that type of stuff mentally because they're still stuck on the physical. They got to see it to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy almost, because it's like when you were young, you believed in Santa Claus until somebody made you believe that it wasn't no Santa Claus. So what kept you believing? What kept you believing in the fact that it was really a Santa Claus? Something in your imagination, in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Of course, now we done exceeded way past life. It's social media and everything like that. So it's kind of hard to get these kids to believe in anything. You know what I'm saying? But you do believe until it's later discovered that you were believing, and your belief, which you feel me, diminished. And so your mystical, spiritual part of yourself tends to disappear the more you start to find out the reality of life. But I'm here to tell you right now, never stop believing. Please don't. You know what I'm saying? Because the things we do behind people's back, who we are behind people's back, the things, the experience we experience in life is all being watched by the universe. God, Allah, whatever y'all want to pray to, but I'm going to keep it as the universe, because I'm a firm believer that the godlike power we have inside of ourselves is, once we go through life lessons and discover that power, the universe starts to work for us. We are more in tune with the animals, the trees, the sky, the stars, all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't personally believe that it's a man that sits up there and watches everything. I'm sorry. I can't support that evidence. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost as like, you know what I'm saying, you're going to go through experiences, you're going to go through things, but you have to understand that it's always bigger than you. And somewhere inside of every family is the root cause of something that you may not even be able to know or process or discover until later on in your life. You know what I'm saying? But you got to stay focused. You got to stay adamant on whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when you go through life, you have people that will put your brain in a fog. And most likely it's the people around you, because that's where the deepest pain is. You know what I'm saying? So their mission is to make everyone, you feel me, have this mental mind fog. So nobody has the ability to get outside the box. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes life is really foggy. And I believe that's the case for my life, because I started smoking weed at 14. Nothing was ever clear during those whole span of all those years that I smoked from 14 to 29. You know what I'm saying? I achieved things. I processed things. I did things in life. You feel me? I had successes. I had failures too. You know what I'm saying? But overall, mentally, I was depressed. Like, I wasn't fully capable to understand and realize who I was. You know what I'm saying? So the marijuana made me feel as if I was somebody, but not really. It kind of just calmed the noise, if that kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It kind of just put me in a mind state of, okay, the yelling, the discouraging, the back talk, you know what I'm saying, the putting down, I can override all that as long as I'm high. You know what I'm saying? But being sober, I'm going to allow that to infect and penetrate my mind more, because maybe I have been trained to think like that my whole life. And y'all keep just feeding it to me. Ain't nobody really around here uplifting people. You know what I'm saying? And pushing them up. It's more so like feeding them all the bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? To where you almost think that you are that person. You have to have the ability to think for yourself. It's difficult, but it can be accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So in between 14 to 29, my whole life was full of accomplishments, successes, failures, getting things together, losing things, having money, not having money. You know what I'm saying? Being in certain situations that I didn't want to be in, but I did it. to try to fit in or to cater to something I thought that life was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't quite discover my purpose in that period because my mind was in this mental fog. You know what I'm saying? And as long as I was high, I could care less about anything anyone said about me. But one thing is for sure, I always had a solution, an answer to something. If I couldn't get it done this way, I'm going to do it this way. If I can't get this done like how I want it this way, I'm going to get it this way. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to kick me out? I can't stay here? It's okay. I'm going to find somewhere else to stay. You know what I'm saying? And it seems as if you had any type of money, you can kind of negotiate with that. You know? Some people have a heart, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? But anytime I knew I had the brain capacity to figure it out, I am going to figure it out. Like my mind was always wired to understand if you hit a roadblock, it's another option. It's another way. Just use your brain and figure it out. Sometimes you didn't even know the outcome. You just took a risk. You know what I'm saying? So when I took my little vacation for 3 years, which was when I was 29, that's when I finally got over my addiction to the weed. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, I'm not anti-campaign weed, but I'm campaigning the fact that it's better to have a sober mind. I grew up around, you feel me, substances. I think you're more, you feel me, positive, constructive, and able to be on top of your game when you sober. That's just me. And I'm not changing and altering that for nobody. You know what I'm saying? When people can find a weak hole in your personality and who you are, they'll try it at any angle to try to get in. You feel me? Energy is almost like a disease, especially a bad energy. They can find a hole and penetrate inside your soul. They gonna get in there however they can. And if that means, you feel me, you hitting the weed or you feel me getting tipsy, they gonna try it. So I personally, I've experienced it and I just refuse. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. You can never make nobody look at life the way you want them to. You can only, you feel me, preach your knowledge and stand on what you about, because life is dedicated and tailored to who you are, not no one else. You know what I'm saying? So once I did that, I kind of like let go of the urge to want to smoke every day. You know, it once the, like probably the first day I got there, I didn't have an urge to, you feel me, smoke nothing at all, because I think my mind was in this frenzy of, excuse my language, shit. I am in a cell with nothing but 4 walls in a concrete bed, and I can't get out. I don't know anybody. You know what I'm saying? I am not aware of my surroundings. I'm completely somewhere unaware of everything going on around me. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I'm the type of person, like I live my life in control. 9 times out of 10, I can control my life by knowing that if I did this, this will happen. If I did this, this will happen. If I do this, I could take care of this. Like, being in control of my life was something that was very important to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell y'all later on how you gotta really try to stop doing that, because sometimes things can happen that you don't have no control over, right? So once I realized that, and the need to want to smoke just did not overcome over me at all. I was more so in a mental mind game now. You know what I'm saying? First I was playing little baby checkers with myself. Now this is grown chess, but on a level where you start out as beginner. You know what I'm saying? I'm not yet advanced yet. I'm on beginner level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm stuck in this mind state of, what do I do now? You listen, you can't control nothing going on outside of your cell. Nothing. You have no control over nothing or nobody. So you can either run yourself crazy being concerned about what's going on out there, Or you could figure out, you feel me, how you need to get your own self together. And really, you don't even have no control over you. The only thing you have control over is your mind. That is it. You have no control over your personal physical body. You were told when to eat. You are told when to, you feel me, do count, do inspection. When you got to go to court, you got to go here, you got to go there. You know what I'm saying? They even control the type of clothes you wear. You don't have control over nothing except for your mind, right? So I'm struggling with that. Again, like I said, I'm on beginner level of chess in this part of my life. I'm on a rerun tape of constantly thinking about what is going on in the world that I'm not in right now. But it's kind of like over time you start to think like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't have no control over nothing anyway. So you're so concerned about what's going on out there, and you were losing control of yourself. So as you was losing control of yourself, you was losing control of everybody around you. I'ma just be honest. Before I took my little vacation, I was in a mental prison by myself. I had no control over nothing. So you taking your time to feel like you have to constantly think about what's going on away from where you are will drain you so fast. But it's normal, especially when you've never been in a situation where you've taken out of everything you've ever known. You know what I'm saying? Your mind starts to run crazy, thinking and processing, until you get to a point where I guess you go to court and they tell you you ain't you're not getting out. You can control your mind to think whatever you wanted to think. You can listen to the you feel me, cellmate lawyers. You can listen to what everybody tell you. You could process whatever you want to process, however you want to process it. But it's really a form of delusion, because you're just thinking what you think is going to happen. You do not know. You've lost all control. The only thing you have control of is your mind. You know what I'm saying? So I think personally for me, that's when my life of chess really started. I'm just going to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So, like again, like I said, when they told me I wasn't going home, because I thought I was going to get out. Everything was a blur to me. Everything was a mystery. It was like, you know what I'm saying, one of the movies where they got the top hat on with the suit and they walking down the street and the crows is flying and they don't know where they're gonna go. That's how my life was at that moment, because I had no idea what was going on for real. I never pictured that to be me. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm being shipped off to the big house. You got a whole new set of, you feel me, thoughts that come in once you hop from one destination to another, and you have no control of it. You can't precisely dictate what's gonna happen next, how I'm gonna plan this, I'm gonna do this and this gonna happen. You don't have no control over nothing. You feel me? So that type of loss of control can make people go crazy, and sometimes it does happen. But I say for me, it was a hard battle in the beginning for a little while, until I started to grasp the fact that this is what it is. You feel me? So your physical reality and everything that you do, you feel me, is not what's going on mentally in your mind. But now you have the ability to focus on what it is that you like and that you into, and make your mind stronger. Figure out who Deidre is without anybody complaining, telling you to live like this, you gotta do this, this is who you are, all this, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie, it took a minute before I got there. It was probably like a whole year had passed, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe even 6 months, because I had hopped around a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was like once I got comfortable at one facility, I was moving to another one. You know what I'm saying? Once I got comfortable at that facility, I was moving to another one. And listen, if your mind is in a place where it's like disheveled, that would irritate you. But I believe it's a method to that. It's a method to help you understand that change is healthy for you. Change is good for you, because anytime you stay attached to something, you end up, you feel me, taking those emotions, those people, whatever, and you center your life attached to that one place. You know what I'm saying? And it mattered to that situation as well as my real life. You know, I didn't look at it then, but I do now. You know what I'm saying? But my mind eased through the course easily. I didn't realize it until it's over. That's usually how it be. You don't realize it when you in it, but you realize it after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So, going through that, I'm playing chess. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but everything is controlled outside of my reach. So you never know what was going to happen at any given time or any given day. You might have an appointment to go to the doctors. You might have an appointment, you feel me, to go see the psychiatrist. You might have an appointment to go, you feel me, to a class or something like that. You just never know what was planned for the day. You know what I'm saying? So it helped you kind of like lose control, not hold on too tight of trying to control your life. You know what I'm saying? So as I go through this whole experience, it's finally getting to a point where it's time for me to go home, right? But in the last phase of my journey, I got to control a little bit of things there. You know what I'm saying? Because I had my hand in a little bit of mischief. You know? So it's kind of like, all right, cool. Now I'm getting a little bit of my groove back. I'm controlling a little bit. I can't get out of this place, but I got a little bit of control. I got a job. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I'm back to doing what I know. You know what I'm saying? But my mind is stronger than that. My mind is stronger than where I'm at, and my mind is stronger than what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize it, again, while you in it until after you done with it. So I'm like, all that time I spent far away, I elevated. I might not could have seen it at that time, but I can feel it now. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's now time for me to go home. Prior to that, you know what I'm saying, I had got a paper. You feel me? Because I got out a whole 5 months before I was supposed to originally get out, and I wasn't even sure why. But I had got a paper that said I had got this amount of time off to be able to go home, and I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? I was just put in the classes, and I was taking the classes, not realizing I was getting time off. I had no idea. So again, that's things being done that you can't see. Stuff working behind the scenes that you can't see. Because when I got that paper, I was super happy, because I had no idea that I was gonna be able to, you feel me, get out all that time, especially when you have a certain out date that they tell you on the paper in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And then you get this new one and you get months off. You like, dang, it gives you a little bit more faith to believe and have hope. You know what I'm saying? So throughout my life and the things I had to go through, I ain't gonna lie, I had lost it for a little bit, but now I'm getting it back. Okay, things is happening behind the scenes that I can't have no control over. Let me realize in life that you really don't have no control over nothing. So stop holding on to things too tightly. It's gonna benefit you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand, 3 years versus 29 years of programming, it's gonna be times where you backslide. Period. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's how you react to it that makes you better. You know what I'm saying? So I get this time off. I get out. I'm super juiced. You feel me? I was working already had a job. You feel me? I saved up a lot of money. I was like, okay, cool. I'm getting out. I got these clothes. You feel me? I'm cool. I'm everything player, right? So that first day, I did everything I wanted, and then the last thing I did was the most important thing to me. You know what I'm saying? But it was like being taken out of a world and being put into one that you believe is unlimited possibilities. Like being there, it was personalities and things I'd never seen before. You know what I'm saying? And then to come home and be thrown right back into the very thing that kept you trapped. And that this is not physical, this is mentally. You know what I'm saying? I am back into this trap mentally. I bit the cheese and I just got trapped. But my mission and my goal was something different. You know what I'm saying? I needed to be where I needed to be because my soul was telling me you're not gonna be right until you do what you need to do. This was a choice you made. So now face it. Stop running from it. Fight. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I'm 29 years of programming versus 3 years of a whole new world. I'm still working on reconstructing my brain, so I'm weak in some parts, especially to the very thing that should I say it is the curse. You know what I'm saying? It is a strong enough curse that kills everything spiritually inside, and not just you, everybody. You know what I'm saying? And now it's a test to figure out if you're strong enough to fight. Or are you gonna cripple yourself and turn back into the person you were because you were too weak to fight? You know what I'm saying? So I fought, but it was some weak moments. I cried. You know what I'm saying? I mentally beat myself up. I mentally ran into some walls, because it's like when you play a video game and you get to a certain level and you can't beat it, so you get frustrated and you just stop playing. This was kind of sort of what I was going through. You know what I'm saying? So, but my level I had to beat to get what I wanted was much stronger, so I fought. And I kept fighting, and I kept fighting, and I kept fighting. You know what I'm saying? Until eventually, after a year, it was kind of like game over. You know what I'm saying? And now you got a whole new another set of levels to life. You know what I'm saying? So in life, the more you go through things, the stronger you get in the brain. Period. You feel me? It's a never-ending battle. So I don't care how good your life is, you're gonna have to deal with things, and it's gonna test you to figure out if you're mentally strong or not. You know what I'm saying? One wrong move, you might cripple everything. You know what I'm saying? So this year is over, and I'm in a, this is like a stronger battle than the one I had to face when it was just me by myself on vacation. But for whatever reason, this one just feels like it's draining me, and I don't have no power and control over it, but I know I gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? So once the year was up and now I'm thrown into a whole nother battle, that's a whole nother set of different circumstances. But y'all gotta understand, being who I am, I love to, you feel me, have a control on my life, meaning everything had to play out like this. Everything had to be set up like this to get this outcome. Everything in my life. That's just how I roll. You know what I'm saying? So because I have a little bit of control on things, I was not paying attention to the things that were out of control, because my focus wasn't on that. It was more so on controlling what I can, so I can plan out and have what I want. Because if I lose control of that, I lose control of everything. You know what I'm saying? So my mind was in a split between my old self and my new self. And listen, baby, was it hard? Yes, it was. Listen, I crumbled a little bit. I went under the water a couple times. I slacked, but I picked myself up every time. And the length of time that it took me to pick myself up sometimes was longer than others, but I made sure that I had to do it because the highest level that I was trying to reach was pertained to, you know what I'm saying, me, and something that I had to pass. Like, I couldn't give up. I just couldn't. I didn't have the willpower to give in. You know what I'm saying? I had to fight. So after 6 months of going through that, you know what I'm saying, I'm dealing with being in the hotel, you know what I'm saying, being in a relationship, being a mother, you feel me? I'm controlling things as far as money-wise. Money-wise, niggas was having a ball. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing going on. Everybody was cool. Everybody was playing. The Band-Aids were working. You feel me? To cover up the mental problems we were having because we were spending money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's cool. Ain't nobody really thinking about the bad times or nothing like that. They still there. And they probably gonna be there when we get done having fun. But right now, we gonna keep those Band-Aids on until they fall off by themselves. Whole time, my life is lining up until it gets to the extravaganza. So just follow me. You know what I'm saying? So 3 years of highs and lows, you feel me? But the highs were way more exciting than the lows because I had everything that I wanted in my life, and that was stability, you feel me? Going from job to job till I finally got a good job, 401k benefits, you know what I'm saying? The pay was great, you know what I'm saying? Everything is cool. I'm still having my pitfalls as far as the things that were going on inside my home. You feel me? Life is like that. You have to battle it. You have to be strong enough to take on the L's to make them W's. And sometimes it was difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm boosting up 2 people while at the same time being the main chess player in the game, because nobody was mentally strong enough to make the chess moves that I had to make sure everything went smoothly. You know what I'm saying? And that was the hard part because you feel like all the weight is on your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? You don't never get a break. Mentally, you have to make sure you make the smartest move in the game. Otherwise, the game is over. So you never want to take a chance at making a risky move because everything could end, and it's all up to you. That was a hard battle. That was hard. You know what I'm saying? And then it got to a moment where I lost control again. And when you lose control, it comes with bad side effects, but then it's kind of like it comes with good side effects too. And you got to figure out what's more enticing to your mental and your spiritual for you to be able to make the right chess moves to keep the game going. You know what I'm saying? So over the course of I say 2 years. 2 years. You know what I'm saying? When I lost control, I thought it was all over. But it was kind of like, listen, if you had been paying more attention, you would have been able to see nothing was ever in your control. This all played out exactly how it was supposed to play out. Now this is the battle where you have to fight the hardest. So the universe is going to test you, and it's up to you to figure out your next move, right? So I got tested. And my whole idea of what I had in my head and the source of control and how I wanted things to be fell out my lap. I had no control over nothing. And it's kind of like I was strong because I had it happen to me before, but I was kind of like weak too because I had not mastered that level. So I was still weak. So I was in my head. You feel me? Listen, it was hard. It was hard. But that New Year's Eve and New Year's Day of 2022, you know what I'm saying, put me in a mind state of the best part of your curse has just started, and so now you think that was a breeze. Welcome, because the games have begun. You know what I'm saying? So that first month, everything stripped, gone. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that I had set out for my life, you feel me? The good job, the house, the car, all that. I started losing control. You know what I'm saying? But it was like any option I would have tried to hold on for dear life and gain control wouldn't have worked out, because it was not set up for me to have control and go the way I wanted to go. It was now set up for me to have faith and believe that everything will be okay if you follow the road signs of you, your intuition, how you feel, your thoughts, you know what I'm saying, and what you need to do. Because what you're about to do is about to be something way bigger than you. It's gonna be hard, but you got this. I sent you on a previous mission to prepare you for this very moment, right? So now it's brain overload at this point. I spent New Year's Day going through the motions. It was rain, it was darkness, it was lights out, it was all type of things happened, catastrophic, you feel me? It was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that in the city of Sacramento, ever. You know what I'm saying? So after that first week is when it got real. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have the faith and believe, because then mystical things start happening that people wouldn't understand, because their journey is not your journey and your journey is for you. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that's when I started to have no choice in breaking the barriers of the curse that has been set on my life and my lineage and everything before me, right? So it got to a point where one night, I think in March, I got extremely tired, you know, extremely tired really early. So I went to sleep. When I went to sleep, something happened that I can't quite explain, because I don't think people would be able to understand, because then they'd be like, listen, your cheese is slid off the cracker. But I was eating healthy crackers that day, and I remember putting the cheese on, so can't nobody make me think of anything different. But I can't explain the experience, but I know it was real. So I kind of like knocked out in a deep sleep. When I came to and woke up that next day, you feel me, it was almost as if I started taking life a little bit more differently than how I did in the past. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, it's real easy growing up as a sensitive child to have someone else's emotions attached to you. So I'm gonna be honest, I was smoking a gang of cigarettes. You feel me? Not healthy at all. And at some point I needed to find a way to quit, but it was the only thing that I could think of, you feel me, that could help me balance out what I was feeling. Because when your brain is stronger than you, you will end up doing things that you have no control over. You know what I'm saying? So it was nights where I would go to sleep and the bed would like be shaking uncontrollably in crazy ways. You feel me? It's nights where I would wake up and I would have scratches on my arms, and I'm trying to think to myself, there's no way I could scratch myself on my back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sleeping by myself. But you can't really put nothing to it, because or get anybody involved, because people are gonna think you crazy. But I've read enough novels, I've read enough books and seen enough movies to know that what I'm experiencing happens. But I'm still not having the faith, because I'm still going through the motions. I've never had this happen to me before. You know what I'm saying? And this happened for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? of the bed shaking so violently that at times I couldn't do nothing but just lay there. You know what I'm saying? And you look up under the bed to try to see if you tripping. You know what I'm saying? But it's like mysterious, unseen forces that are hell bent on making sure they take out the light that's inside you. That sometimes you go through life not even knowing you have it until you experience something you can't quite put, you feel me, your finger on. So it's shaking. I'm having constant L's after another, but then I'm looking at the W's behind it. You feel me? Mysterious things that's happening that I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, I got through this. But one thing for sure is the days, they go by so fast. You know what I'm saying? You find yourself mentally getting your mind together and being able to process what's going on, that days are flipping like that. You know what I'm saying? As what you're doing is bigger than the curse that you've had to live with for centuries, you notice that you start to act different than how people were comfortable around you. So people start being stripped from you left and right. You notice everybody starts switching up. You know what I'm saying? Nobody no longer wants to kick it with you like that. Nobody wants to be around. They don't want to be around you. They lie to you. You feel me? And tell you they gonna come rock with you when they don't. You feel me? All things that test your mental. Because of the fact I grew up being separated and different and feeling like I had abandonment issues, those very things are the things that make me overly extend myself so I can be able to get the attention from them, because I didn't like to be alone. So it's a test. You know what I'm saying? And once I started to be like, dang, because really nobody even came to slide on me anyway. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just me and my kids, so it's kind of like I have to be with myself continuously, pacing from the kitchen to the room, kitchen to the room. You feel me? Listening to tons of music, you know what I'm saying? Because mentally my mind is going through a shift that I can't quite put my finger on, but I realize something is happening. I just am not sure what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So in the course of that, I'm also taking L's, you know? So I'm like, man, I don't got control over nothing. I'm losing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm losing everything that I wanted so hard in my life. But you have to remember that, listen, don't ever tell somebody, if you fuck with me, you stuck with me. Please don't say that. Don't say that to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but I'm just being real. Because sometimes that very energy of both you and that person can merge together, and now the curse has started and things start happening, you know what I'm saying, that's spiritually, mentally, and physically out of your control. You know what I'm saying? And you don't realize it until you emotionally grow in yourself. At first you think, okay, this is whatever, but I'm thinking in my head like, man, something I worked so hard for is leaving. Now I gotta go back, you feel me, to the very thing I don't want to go back to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm driving myself insane, but I'm making it. Now I have this insane ability to think of things to do to support myself that, you feel me, I would have never thought of before. But it really was your old training. You know what I'm saying? When I was like maybe in the 5th grade, my grandma taught us how to sell candy, right? So once I figured out that hustle, listen, you don't got to go to jail. Don't cost you nothing, you know what I'm saying, except for the body candy. So it's kind of like, okay, now I got to use them skills and put them to use because we got to eat. You know what I'm saying? So I started to just do things that wouldn't get me sent back to jail because I can't go back there. Not only do I not want to be there, you know what I'm saying, I also have something else that is in my life that I have to be aware of my choices. You know what I'm saying? It's a plenty of things people do that's against their moral code when they need money. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how easy your mind drifts off. You know? So from February to August, it was all a mystery, because things truly worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't think, because I know how things are in life. I know how things operate. You feel me? But for whatever reason, from February to August 10th, you know what I'm saying, it worked out just fine. So when August 10th came around, you feel me, now was the time I had to remove myself from that location. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, I had no control over nothing. You know, I'm on my last straw. I have absolutely nobody to call. Nobody, you feel me, that I know is gonna rush and, you feel me, come save the day. Nobody. But for the last second, like when you just get to the point inside your brain where you just can't take it no more and you ready to crash out, something will happen. And that's exactly what happened. But you have to have faith and you gotta believe. Most people crash out and tap out before that even happens, so they don't even have, you feel me, the ability to believe that your life is not being overseen by you. It's being overseen by a greater force. You know what I'm saying? Just stay the course. Believe, have faith, and do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you got stuff to lose. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And even if you thought you was going to try to do it, you're going to stay away from it, because it's a greater force bigger than you that's keeping you away from even having that mindset. You know what I'm saying? So at the last minute, something panned out. You know what I'm saying? We hop in the car. You feel me? We go to this next location. You know what I'm saying? As we're in this location, I'm experiencing a lot of emotions. It's almost as if my mental is going from 1 to 100 in a matter of, like, man, a day. Every day was an adventure. Every day was an excursion. Every day my mental was hopping from different places in the brain. And things were being shown and discovered that I just couldn't, I had no control over. And imagine, you feel me, this was only happened from August 10th to October 11th. That was only 3 months, but every day seemed like the longest ever when you battle in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So from August 10th to later in the month of August, I had to go to another location. You know what I'm saying? And the hustle and the grind is real. You know what I'm saying? But my mind is kind of like, listen, you have a lot to lose. So you can't be thinking in the negative aspect. You have to stay positive, even though it's hard to fight. And it was days where I just wasn't positive for nothing. But I had something to live for. I had something that I had to stay on the right path for. Because if I don't, I'm going to lose it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to. Not only do I want to not lose that, I don't want to lose myself again. I don't ever want to lose myself again. But let's not forget that in between time, I am reverting back to old habits. Old things that I used to do to escape my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm not proud of it, but that's what it is. Because you're learning how to shed the old programming that you've been programming for the last 29 years. And you're shifting into this new program. So they'll overlap until you get control of the reins. You know what I'm saying? So I'm overlapping my old processing and old thinking with the new one. I'm waking up early, you feel me? I'm doing what I gotta do. You feel me? I'm blending in with nature, taking long walks, and you feel me? Just trying to get my mental right. Is it a battle? Yes, it is. But again, your toughest soldiers will handle the toughest battles, and the universe is directed to put that on you, and you don't have no control. You don't have no choice. It's just what you're going to do, because anything that you have thought to counteract to get yourself out of that situation, it no longer works. It seems as if everything is stripped from you. Anything and everybody, everything you used to do will no longer work. You will try to reach out. You will try to grab onto something. You'll try to do this, try to do that. It's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you're forced to stay on this path, regardless if you want to be on it or not. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's time. So I'm going through all this. I'm experiencing the motions. You know what I'm saying? I'm having to go from one location to the next. And every time I got to the point where I just was giving up, and crying and getting very emotional, and it felt like my brain was not overpowering me, but it was getting to the limit right when I just couldn't handle it no more. You know what I'm saying? Something would happen and everything would be okay. You feel me? It's not what you can control, because things are happening that you can't control. So you have to learn how to work within the realms of what you have. You know what I'm saying? I've always been the type to make something out of nothing. I don't care. If I got something, I'm going to make something out of nothing. It's the hard part of when you don't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a little bit and you can make it work, make it work. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? But those 3 months seemed like the longest 3 months that I'd ever had to go through in my life. I was just couldn't fathom. Every day just seemed like so long. You know what I'm saying? And it's mentally where your mind be. You know what I'm saying? So October 11th, it was kind of like something happened that I didn't have no control over, didn't even see coming. You know what I'm saying? And I got to my final destination. But on the course of that journey, I am now finna be faced with a whole nother different set of things I have to handle to make myself become mentally strong. You guys got to understand, I am now building myself up through this whole process. I am still struggling in areas. My mind is not as strong as it needs to be. It is a journey. You feel me? A destination, forever journey that you're going to have to keep traveling. But you've done it. You've been strong. I put you through a past mission. You got through it. You can get through this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm struggling. I ain't going to lie. You know what I'm saying? There's times where I like to eat. I had to miss meals. I had to sacrifice things. You feel me? I had to make certain choices that didn't make me happy. But in the end, I didn't risk my soul. I didn't sell my soul. I didn't do things that, you know what I'm saying, would document me and have me where I didn't have no control of nothing. I stayed the course, no matter how hard it was. You know what I'm saying? And when I got to my final destination, that's when the curse really started for real. Like, y'all don't understand the things that I had to mentally process and go through. You feel me? On a daily. It was almost as if your final destination is where the curse started. And this is going to be your biggest mission yet. And if you stay the course, you feel me? The destination at the end will, you feel me, mentally have you in some other place that you've never been before. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to have to get through it first. You're going to be tested a lot. You know what I'm saying? But on the course of you going through these tests, you're going to have the wisdom and knowledge to stay focused on your path of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to open up a whole new field of energy that people will be able to understand. It's just you're going through it first. But be aware, people will slowly start to go through the same things you experience. So I'm going to give you the game and the wisdom by clearing up your mind to be able to, you feel me, go after your goal and your dream. But stay dedicated. Stay faithful. Stay on point. You know what I'm saying? Because you will be tested. I'm going to test you. Period. You know what I'm saying? But mentally, you are smart. You are the most powerful chess, you feel me, piece on the board is you. So how much do you believe in yourself to be able to get through these tests? I've seen you do it before. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be strong again. This is life. You know what I'm saying? If you get through this test, I promise you, you're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm going to tell you something. Every day was like I got mentally strong, but it was hard to fight. I got mentally strong, but it was hard to fight. I got mentally strong, but I got tested. It was hard to fight. Every day it was something. You know what I'm saying? Every day. But in the course of this, you feel me, it's like an old brain programming with a new one. Because you are now, you feel me, in the very place where the curse started. So you are also now, you feel me, experiencing all the trauma, all the damage, all of everything that you have seen in the course of your life from everybody in this very house. And boy, when I tell you, it was extremely difficult to have to carry that weight. You know what I'm saying? The things I seen, can't nobody, you feel me, make me believe I didn't see what I saw. But you got to understand, before social media, before phones with, you feel me, you can be able to capture things, all you had was you and your eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing these things. Man, listen, let me tell y'all something. The footsteps, the lights flickering, you know what I'm saying? The one day waking up, it was so freezing cold in here. I couldn't understand why it was so cold. Like chattering, teeth chattering. When I get cold, my teeth be chattering. You know what I'm saying? Unexplained events happening. You know what I'm saying? Things coming up missing in the house. Things being done that you know you didn't do. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to figure out how, why. You know what I'm saying? And it lasts for a while. And you mentally be thinking you going crazy. But you not. You know what I'm saying? It's the gift and the curse. And the reason why I call it that is because it's the curse, but it's the gift you achieve while going through the curse. You know what I'm saying? Because my mentally strong headspace is not something I've ever had in my life. I've never been in this type of headspace to where I no longer is affected by people, their emotions, their thoughts, the things they try to do to control me. You feel me? The love bombing, all that. Like it doesn't faze me anymore. I'm content. You know what I'm saying? With understanding that this journey is gonna be a solo one by yourself. So I built you up to be strong enough to face this head on. Everything I've done for you in these last, you feel me, 10 years have prepared you for this moment. And I gave you these set of lessons and this experience because you were the strongest one that was going to be able to, you feel me, take it on. And it's crazy how, like, people be hating on you and jealous of you, but do you know, I never seen this coming. I never thought that this would be my life. Like, for real. This is like something out of a book I read. You know what I'm saying? A movie I saw. And people are up here just wishing and praying, oh, you feel me? Yeah, we want that spot, you feel me? Why she get it, we don't, you feel me? We gotta listen. I don't care what nobody think. I don't care about none of that, because this, you feel me, whatever it is that y'all after, promise you, after you experience the test I had to go through, you wouldn't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want nothing to do with it. I swear on everything I love. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a very hard one. It is like the hardest thing I've ever had to go through in life. My little vacation for 3 years wasn't even this hard. Mentally, though. Not physically. Mentally, you feel me, versus my physical reality was two different things. On the physical, it was nothing. I'm a hustler, naturally, since birth. So I know how to do what I need to do, you feel me, to get a couple little extra dollars. You feel me? But having the strength to be able to understand that sometimes it may not always work out like you wanted to, and you got to go back out there and do it again. That is the mental constraint of being in a mental prison, because you be thinking and hoping that it just work out right when you want it to. Your timing is never accurate on this journey. Like, don't expect nothing to be nothing. Just go with the flow. Wake up every day being happy that you're able to mentally be strong and you're able to wake up alive. Because I'm telling you right now, if you think you're trying to control something, or you getting down and out because you want this to happen this way, you feel me, end up destroying your own self mentally. And I promise you, being mentally disturbed in the brain is one of the worst things you can have. That's like, it overrides any disease, any sickness. Like, being mentally disturbed is a place I wouldn't recommend for anyone, because I've been there, and I would do anything I can to just get out of that space. You know what I'm saying? Take Norcos, take Xanax just to sleep, because I just could not deal with the day. I could not deal with it. It was just too much for me to just mentally be everywhere, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of as if like, once you realize the real of who you are, and the reason why you've been feeling like you've been special all your life is because you're very sensitive to people's emotions and energies. So what you could wake up feeling for the day could be easily penetrated by everybody else's emotions and feelings, and now you just feel like you don't even want to live. But it's not yours. It's not yours. You know what I'm saying? So once you get to a point where now you have the ability to control who you are, the will and strength to be happy, the will and strength to have joy, the will and strength to know that nobody's thoughts of you because of their past pain and what they didn't accomplish in life can no longer penetrate your energetic field of who you are, the person that's on your birth certificate. Because if you ask me, I don't see nobody else that you associated with on your birth certificate but you. You know what I'm saying? That was like the ultimate peace, the ultimate goal. Like, I don't even think people really understand how peaceful I be, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because the worst place you can be is being pulled every which way. Energy just being strapped up by everybody that you don't have none for yourself at the end of the day. Because everybody wants something from you. And if you don't do it, they make you feel like, excuse my language, shit. Like you ain't worth nothing. Because you won't do this for them. You won't make them feel like this. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, man, what about me though? But you got to understand, these people ain't thinking about you. They thinking about them. And how, you feel me, whatever it is you got inside of you, you feel me, is feeding into them. And it's draining you, but it's making them feel alive. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of almost like when you go to energy school and you start learning how powerful energy is, you feel me? And you start growing in who you are, you start to, you feel me, break the curse. So the mysterious things that you start hearing and processing and seeing, they slowly start to disappear. And it's kind of almost as like the energy starts to align back together. You feel me? You also got to realize that your life will never be the same. After you experience what you had to go through in a certain journey, your life will never go back to being the same. You will forever be this individual that is separated from the crowd. But now you will know why that feeling you had as a kid, where you felt like everybody just, you know what I'm saying, looked at you differently. It'll start to make sense once you get older. And now you're able to process what it is and the reason why you felt so odd and strange as a kid. Because you were set apart. You were supposed to be set apart. You were never supposed to be in the same bracket as everybody else. But we made you sensitive enough to process everything everybody else was feeling. So now you feeling like you got to get involved in what they in. Show your love and gratification to them to make them feel good. And the whole time they draining you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even realize it because you're looking for validation. And because the ability for you to care about humans so much, because you never want them to feel how you felt when people were hurting you, drains you. You know what I'm saying? And it will potentially kill you if you don't, you know what I'm saying, get smart enough to be able to figure out the fact that this is not serving me. This is not good for me. I have to let it go. As much as I want to hold on tight, I have to let it go, because this is a one-man journey. You know what I'm saying? Because as you climb up the ladder, people will slowly try to pull you down. You know what I'm saying? And your ability to want to keep climbing has to be stronger than anything. You know what I'm saying? And listen, it consists of thoughts, actions. Some days you might get up and you don't even feel happy to even, you feel me, not even real life happy, I would say, but like you don't have the energy to pour into your craft the way you want. Because it's all these things that keep trying to pull you back down spiritually. You know what I'm saying? You could just wake up not feeling it. And it may not even be your emotions, because you're having the ideas, you know what to do as far as, you feel me, get your craft together. It's just you having other people's thoughts, and they don't want you to climb up the ladder because they ain't climbing up the ladder themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have the ability to stay strong and keep going. You know what I'm saying? That's the part I don't think a lot of people understand. You listen, you will never be the same. After you go through what you've experienced, you know what I'm saying, and the things you saw and the things you were a witness to, and you've never experienced that ever before in your life, you will never be the same after that. You know what I'm saying? But your strength and your ability to keep persevering, it will be automatic. Like, even when you have a thought of, man, F it, I don't want to do this today. You know what I'm saying? Forget it. I'm about to close out everything, delete everything. It'll be something on the other side that I say, listen, you work way too hard. You've came way too far to slow down now. Those thoughts are only overpowering you because it could be other people's. It could be the energies, you feel me, surrounding you. Also, you feel me, your old personality of not feeling invalid, not feeling capable to do what you've been set out to do. Follow the yellow brick road. Wizard of Oz was one of my favorite movies as a kid. Listen, follow it. Never give up. Never get off path. You know, she had to go through meeting the lion, the Tin Man, you feel me, the Scarecrow, all those characters as she was going through the yellow brick road had some type of, you know what I'm saying, emotion or feeling that they was feeling, and she had to try to, you know what I'm saying, make them feel better. And when she got to the big house, she had all of them now with her in a happy mood and feeling better. You know what I'm saying? Whole time all she got is her and her dog, and her house then, you feel me, went somewhere else. You know, listen, it's a reading between the lines in these movies. I don't think that people really understand, because you got to understand, like, a lot of people are not woke. They still asleep, and that's fine. You feel me? You can't make nobody look at life the way you want, and that's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So once you get to a point where people don't see it the way you see it, you just got to cut them off. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll deter you from your path and your journey. You'll end up doing some stuff that don't even align with what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's just because they don't want to see you grow. You know what I'm saying? But you still keep going. You feel me? The gift and the curse of Sacramento, nigga. Excuse my language. I'm a living testament. You feel me? I will be able to do whatever it is to, listen, I tell you no lies. It's basically as if I had to go through my life experiencing the things in that person's childhood that cursed me. Because nothing will go right. Everything that I had cultivated in my own mind to be able to get out of certain situations just wouldn't work out. But that's what I knew growing up. But you merge yourself with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, listen, we see the light inside of you, and we finna strip it all, because we need you to stay on the bottom. You can't grow. You know what I'm saying? And if people like you and love you and want to help you grow, you feel me? Listen, we want to keep you possessive. We want to control you. We don't want anybody to get a hold of you. We don't want you to get out the box. You're not supposed to. So it's up to you to keep being strong. It's up to you to keep putting these videos out. Whatever your craft is, you feel me? You'll get stronger the more you work through your own internal wounds and don't ignore them. I bet you whatever it is you're passionate about, you will grow in it. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you keep going and you don't let up, you never know what's destined for tomorrow, the day after that. I'm young still. I'm only 36. You feel me? So it's kind of like, have faith and believe. Like that day on Christmas, when you wake up, you don't know what you got in them boxes. When you unwrap that wrapping paper, you don't know what's in there. You know what I'm saying? You just have to unwrap. You might see the bike, you know what I'm saying? That don't got no wrapping paper on it. But then everything else after that, you just super excited. You don't even know this is what you was going to get. You just had to go in with faith. You know what I'm saying? And you, sometimes it may be that one thing you pointed out and then you got it. You're like, man, I hecka wanted that. So now you just spend all morning happy. You eating. You got stuff to play with. You juiced. But having that faith and knowing, you feel me, that when you woke up on Christmas, it was going to be something under the tree. Some nights, I couldn't even go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that when we wake up, it's going to be Christmas Day. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even really what you get. I think it's just the joy of being happy. Like, I get more satisfaction out of having a real Christmas tree. You can't take my childhood from me. I don't want no set up fake ass Christmas tree. Excuse my language. I want a real one that smells good. And the pines that fall off of it. You know what I'm saying? And you decorate it with the lights and all the decorations and the candy canes. Like, I don't know why, it's just something about it that that does something to me. And when I wake up in the middle of the night and I go to the bathroom or something, I go in the kitchen and just, you feel me, look at the lights. I don't know what it is. It just do something to me. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. You feel me? And decorating the door and watching Christmas movies. You know what I'm saying? Drinking hot chocolate in your PJs. Like, I just like the moment. The gifts is cool. You feel me? But the moment is the best thing ever in my life. Like, I love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday. You feel me? So, all I'm saying is, to everybody watching this video, is that it's a crucial period in time where people don't want to admit the details. People don't want to admit their experiences to life because they're too afraid of being judged or people talking about, you feel me, it wasn't real and downplaying them. But I'll be the first to admit it's real. You know what I'm saying? And when our past came back to haunt us, the curse turned into a gift. You know what I'm saying? Through the universe. It was just trying to see if you were strong enough to make it. Because you had two choices. You could have tapped out if you wanted to. You really could have crashed out. Went head first into a wall. You know what I'm saying? And your life would have just been in shambles. Nothing would have turned out good. I promise you, when you don't follow that path that the universe is telling you to follow, nothing in life will go right. It will seem as if everything is going wrong. And it's difficult to process if you're not headstrong. You know what I'm saying? So listen, to everybody out there, don't be afraid in knowing and understanding it's not just you. It's a bunch of us. You know what I'm saying? And once we come together, it's almost going to be like, dang, the stuff we see in the movies, the stuff we read about is very much real. Because we have some people that actually lived it. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Because I just gave y'all an experience that I'm pretty sure a lot of people experience. They're just too afraid to say something.